And good night, my brothers and sisters around the world. Hey, I'm back to finish up some of these subsequent videos on the different areas of my lawn, trying to categorize the different conditions in which these robots have to operate in under different constraints, such as size, bad GPS reception, limited space, obstacles, and so on. So the area we're doing today is a limited space, limited size and space. Let me clarify. I inadvertently found out that the LUBA 3000. I don't know if it applies for all the different models, but for the 3000, the minimum size it can cut is 5 square meters, which equates to about 64 square feet. And the area that I'm going to show you right now is exactly about 64 square feet. So we're talking about what I'm showing you right here. There's LUBA on its way down to meet us to cut the area to show you how it cut. And by the way, it's going to cut only with navigation. Only with GPS navigation and RTK. No LiDAR and no AI vision, and that's due to the limited space in which it's cut in. So I'm going to show you exactly the area right now. And my son's car is in the way, so it's going to have to avoid a space, which I'll cut later, and that's not a problem, but let me show you. So it's half, or it's this area right here, this entry area right here to the space between the houses. And then as we trace the landscaping, this is that little sliver of grass it cuts right to here. That's it. And I actually had to add some of the sidewalk just to get the square footage I needed, which, like I told you, is 64 square foot, which equates to roughly about that 5 square meters. So you'll see as it cut what it does, and you'll get a preview of how it cuts such limited areas. Remember, there's no fluff in this video. This is real talk. So LUBA is here, so let's get to the cutting. It's still navigating to its start point, and then we'll get to cutting as soon as it starts. So the space that is traversing is a space that was mapped, which is this portion of the sidewalk. And the only reason I had to do that is to be able to get that minimum square footage. So let's see if it avoids my son's car. Oh, and it did a bumper strike. That kills me. With LiDAR, how could it not see the car? You know, that's the kind of stuff that, like, why would it have to touch it? Oh, I take that back. It doesn't have LiDAR. My apologies. Okay, that wasn't on you, LUBA. It wasn't on you, Mammotion. That was because, you're right, we are only, we are only doing, okay, she just, okay, I don't know what that sound was, but the blades are starting up now. So I might have to have my son place his car a little higher in the driveway, because I forgot that this area does not have LiDAR enable, and it doesn't have AI vision. So no obstacle avoidance. So my apologies, I misspoke on that. And it's due to the limited space, because if I enable AI vision and or LiDAR or the obstacle avoidance feature, it doesn't want to cut along the boundary of the landscaping because of the protrusions of the landscaping itself. So it kind of limits me, right? So it did what it did. So it had to use a bumper strike in order to know that there was an obstacle in the space. But once it hit the bumper, it corrected very well. Again, there's no vision here, guys, or no LiDAR. It's just straight RTK positioning. So let's kind of show you guys. how well it cuts with just the RTK, because in this area there is good signal reception, and I'll show that to you guys. So it should be strong with the RTK positioning. Now, because this is St. Augustine grass, you see how it struggles here to get up on the edge? I don't know if you saw that, but it does. But anyway, it holds the positioning really good, really well rather. So it should bump again. Yep, it has to bump because it doesn't see it. But that's good. It's just a bumper strike, which I'm happy for. You see what happens here? It's a lip for the St. Augustine. It's very thick, so it kind of roughs it up when it has to try to maneuver. Alright, let me show you guys what the signal strength looks like. Bear with me. Alright, signal strength. Everything is good here. Everything is good. We have good, good, and good. Let's see this out so you guys can have a wider perspective. All right, so we see we have good RTK signal, navigation, a GPS signal, and iNavi signal. Everything is good. It's 100% green, so this is a good thing. So, and it runs really well in this area. But as you saw in the previous video along the wall, where it actually like scraped the wall for almost for the entire length of the house, at least half of it. You know, but in between the properties, there's very limited GPS signal due to the concrete walls. And that's another thing for you guys who aren't too familiar with Florida. All building code in Florida is very stringent because we're susceptible to hurricanes. So all exterior walls are made of concrete cinder block or some form of concrete. And so it's really prohibitive for signal penetration, as you know. But anyway, so that's part of the reason why the signal sucks in between the houses, as well as there's just limited access to the sky, so you have limited task completed. So that's it. This area has been cut, and we're done here. So that to see an example of that where I cut into the driveway to kind of expand the space to meet that minimum size requirement. But you saw this robot cut this small space without any obstacle avoidance enabled, because the signal strength in this area of the home is really good. It was able to hold the lines that I draw originally for the mapping. The only thing that makes it difficult is this lip that the St. Augustine has, because it's so thick of a grass. So coming from the sidewalk up onto the St. Augustine, because of the Omni wheels, it sometimes poses some difficulty to do so. And because they don't turn, and it pivots, right? And because it pivots, it's a broadside or just an edge that that is going up against another edge, and the Omni wheels aren't big enough to eliminate or mitigate the transition. So anyway, this one's going to be a short one. I just wanted to show you guys a minute. We actually have another area that's grass-wise is smaller than this, but still had to trick it by air cutting some of the sidewalk to allow for more square footage and or square meters, so the system would allow the mapping to be completed. All right, guys, you know what the deal. Any questions, just feel free to ask. Until we do the next one, God bless my brothers and sisters in the world. See you in the next one.